I'm holding my bladder. Let's get at her.
All right.
We're in the computer.
Yay.
We create a mental atmosphere.
Fear not, my friends. This will be my greatest performance.
Give it to me.
Here we go. We came, we saw, we kicked it.
In the holiday mode, that's for sure. Memorial Day weekend is upon us. This is Mornings on the Beach. My name is Danny Lemos, and today on the show, would you fly from New York to LA standing up all the way? What if it was only $5? We'll talk about it coming up on the show. And good morning to my other co-host.
Yeah, this is Mike Stark, and the boss and other musicians are beginning to push back against Trump policies.
Right on.
Where could this lead?
Hopefully somewhere good.
And are we finally getting what the Jetsons promised us? No, but we're getting something cool for the Olympics.
I can't wait. It's all coming up on the show today. But first, we want to explain, that is Mike. That's not AI.
Right.
Mike's in the isolation booth across town in Lakewood because he's got a little contagion going on.
I got a little cold,
Yeah.
and I get one a year, and so this will be it, hopefully. And I'm feeling all
You
right, I guess.
All right.
You do kind of sound like an imposter, though, I got to say.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, what does that voice sound like?
Who is that?
And for the holiday weekend, I guess you'll be in bed all weekend, huh?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I
to be
don't
honest
either.
with you.
It's going to be
You know,
beautiful.
I don't either.
Well, I'll tell you what, get outside if you can. 'cause
Oh,
it's
for
gonna be
sure.
just
It's gorgeous.
We're going to go over to Monty's at the Dog Beach, the bar.
Oh, I love it there.
Hang out there, yeah.
Oh, that's a great
Can't wait.
idea.
Yeah, because it's like if you have dog kids, you don't have to pay attention. They can roam and play with
Well, it
their
turns
other...
out I took mine there, and she chased the birds and went all the way across
Really?
the bike path. Yeah, so her beach privileges are revoked. But I may go.
It takes a while.
It takes a while.
It takes a while. Yeah, I had friends that own a greyhound that let her off the leash.
Yeah. See ya. Yeah, she
All the
came
way-
back around eventually, but you're pretty helpless just standing there in the sand watching
love
the
it.
brown speck of my dog disappear.
Well, Melanie used the word that'll clue us into the next part of the program, which is helpless. Because if you're like me, I wake up in the morning sometimes after reading the morning's headlines. I think to myself, I'm really glad I'm going to shuffle off the mortal coil sooner than later. Leave this to all y'all. Because what is going on? And we speak to this because we don't want you to forget. And we want to pick out things that we think are important to all of us. So that's why we're going to cover these. And the first one on our list here is that the Department of Homeland Security is considering a reality show where immigrants compete for citizenship. Yeah.
This is so Trump-like, isn't
It's
it?
disgusting.
Well, apparently this guy, this producer who's associated with it, didn't have the idea because of Trump. He's always had this idea that he'd like to have a competition where somebody's sworn at the end as a citizen.
Well, since he's watched Hunger Games anyway, he's had this idea.
You're right.
Please.
But this is something that he's saying would be a great show for U.S. And of course, he mentioned it to someone in Kristi Noem's office. She thought it was a good idea, but she has not reviewed the proposal, so don't freak out. It's not yet in full swing. It's in pre-production. They're
Well,
talking
if she
about
gives it
what
the
it would
kind of
cost.
attention she gave to habeas corpus, right, it'll be right up there.
Did you see what
Oh,
she
my
said?
God. And I have to say this about NPR. That's where I get my headlines.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
do it in the morning because I don't want to set my day off like that,
I should
but I
start.
do it during the day. I check NPR. And this is one of the things that always frustrates me is it says she struggles to define habeas corpus.
Yeah.
That's not what happened. She didn't know. Period.
Yeah, she did
It's
not
just like
know.
when they say to Trump, without evidence, Trump claims.
Right.
That's called a lie.
Yeah.
Like, just say it.
And,
But anyway.
and also, that is there's an article in The Atlantic this week that the 3 words that this administration is centering around is "I don't know." It's like everything they don't know.
Look it up.
Or how about a civics test before you can become
Are you
president?
kidding? My daughter knows what habeas
You know,
corpus is
give
because
me
she's
a
in high school
break.
government.
What makes it worse, however, is that the department she is in charge of should absolutely know what it means.
Right.
Right.
If she was in another department,
Still.
maybe we could give them a
Still.
break.
And we
No,
give her, we
no
give her a
breaks.
pass, and no, don't do that. For heaven's sakes, that's your job.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
No passes.
There needs to be Trump school, and somebody who teaches 6th grade civics could just step up and maybe give them a little tutorial about what's
Yeah.
important. That is, to me, that's the most amazing thing, that they don't know that. And what else do they know? Well,
Oh, what's the list?
Mike is over here with a cold, but what if it was something a lot worse and we didn't know about it? Well, that's where we're actually at, because the headline this morning in NPR was diseases are spreading and the CDC isn't warning the public like it was months ago.
Well, I wonder why.
Everything, because they're dismantling all the communication
Exactly.
first. Now, if I was going to go over and take over a department and dismantle its communication, let's say we're talking about another radio station, we want to get them. We would dismantle their communication because we want them communicating. Well, hello, why don't they want us to know this stuff?
Yeah, because that's how fascism works.
Yeah, and then of course there's now a salmonella outbreak with cucumbers, but you didn't hear it from the CDC.
I'm hearing it just now.
Really?
From you, yeah.
Bernard Farms, if you've got cucumbers that were sourced, now they sell cucumbers singly, so how do you know where they came from? But ask, because there's a salmonella, and we're on the list. California's on the list where these cucumbers are around. And that information normally would be provided by the Food and Drug Administration. Guess what? They dismantled their Department of Communications, so they can't tell you.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. It's craziness going on.
Well,
And that's just recently. We're not talking about what happens if we have a full-blown COVID.
I've started
Outbreak.
my victory garden already, knowing that produce is going to be, for one reason or another, via immigrant labor or
Now, you know,
I swear to God, when I sweat, I smell like a hot dog.
oh, that's a Trump alarm. Hang on a second.
Oh, what'd he say?
Oh, right now, it's saying that he just invented a new word.
Really?
This just in, yes.
This
Trump
just
has
in.
invented a new according It's been in use since the 1500s, according to people.com. Now, the word, in case you didn't hear it, was equalizing. He's saying that this is a brand new word. It's so nice.
Equalizing?
That he invented it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because basically what we're doing, he's talking about the economy and about lower prices for drugs, meaning he wants to equalize them like Europe is already paying. So, by the way, that concept, great. However, you didn't invent the word.
Right. I'm going through a divorce right now, and they talk about equalization
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah.
So they've known that word for a while.
Yeah, but why would he say, like, we can't look it up?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
I
matter. If he
think, I
says
think
it, it's
also
true.
Queen Latifah might have something to say about that since she has a show called The Equalizer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, whatever.
And they scrubbed all of his transcripts from the White House website. Why? Because they prefer if you watch the video, you'd be less confused. And that's what they really were saying. They were saying, we don't want people to get confused by his words. But if you listen to the way he says them, it makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
It
There's
doesn't
no
at all.
version. There's no version of anything he says that makes sense.
No. And I'll tell you this one. I'm going to play this for you. And this is courtesy of Fox News, the only time I'll ever say that. But it is interesting to me that this week, we're not talking about, in the future, this week, the president is talking about what he's already done. He's being asked by a reporter, how can you justify cutting food assistance to Americans that need it? And listen to this.
You campaigned on lowering the price of groceries. How can you justify cutting food assistance in this bill?
Let me just tell you, the cut is going to give everybody much more food because prices are coming way down. Groceries are down. Eggs. You told me about eggs. You asked me a question about eggs my first week. You said eggs. I said, I just got here. Tell me about eggs. And it was going through the roof. You know that eggs now are way down. Everybody's buying eggs.
Nope.
Groceries down. Energy's down.
Nope.
Nope. Lies.
Gasoline is now they're buying gasoline now for $1.99.
Where?
Please give us that address,
Where?
please. Guess what? Nowhere in the country are they selling gas for $1.99. What he's referring to is that somebody told him that was the wholesale price for gasoline. So he repeated it like it's everybody's got $1.99.
Well, and that
gas.
since he's a narcissist, the fact that he says it makes it the truth.
Yeah,
That's
of
why presenting him with facts doesn't matter. And if you do present him with the facts, and we've seen this over and over again, he just attacks that person. Why would you bring me these ugly questions? Why would you blah, 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 blah?
Get a new
So-
job. He tells a young reporter, you should get a job she should be proud of because she asked him a question he didn't agree with.
Oh, and if it's a woman, he really,
yeah.
he really lets loose.
Yeah, well, better that way than with his hands. But cognitive decline is what they're calling what you just heard. In other words, he tends to go from one thing to the other. And I welcome students in grade school to diagram his sentence and see how far you can get.
Right. Is there a subject? Anywhere.
Yeah,
Anywhere.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it's just not happening. So I bring this to your attention, not to ruin your weekend, but to tell you there are things that you really need to be paying attention to. Now, what you say, well, what can I do about it? I'll tell you what you can do. While you're listening to this show, open up your laptop or use your phone and Google search just where your representatives can receive their email. You'll find that information readily available. Do that this much. And then when we're done with the show, write them just a quick little few words about how you feel about what's going on in Congress, especially when it comes to anything you have concerned about, whether it's egg prices, gas prices, anything, or the administration and what they're doing to people and how discompassionate they're being. Is that the right word?
You invented a word, Danny.
I invented a word. Not being, the empathy is just incredibly missing from this administration.
They see it as a weakness.
Say something. Don't just go, well, say something. Because it does. We've talked to people, especially our Congress people here in Long Beach, and said, please keep them coming. We do hear them, and we do get counts every single day of how many people have responded about this, that, or the other thing. So don't think there's
that's
nothing
good to know, because
do.
it does feel so big, especially since we have a minority in Congress.
Yeah. Or I'll tell you what you can do, is you can just listen to a Bruce Springsteen song.
That always helps.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring in the boss.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of back and forth going on between Bruce and the and the Trump administration, and Bruce just lobbed the latest thing by releasing a 4-song EP.
Great.
That highlights the first show he did in Manchester, all of the political stuff he did, and it's a great little package, but the other musicians out there are also starting to line up. Eddie Vedder has spoken out. Neil Young has spoken out and says to Trump, "We're not afraid of you. We're going to come after you if we have to." And I think Neil probably believes he can. So
Wow. I was watching a documentary yesterday on Kent State.
Yeah.
And their response, they were in their 20s. Their response the next day was he walked into the woods and wrote Ohio.
Right.
That response. So this has been a part of his history to keep it loud, and I love it. And
I think that there's enough artists out there that are active and activists, like Pearl Jam and Bruce and Taylor Swift
for the youngies. Yeah.
And Green Day. There's another one that
they changed the lyrics.
Yeah, they changed the lyrics to their songs, and if they were to gather their troops together, all of them together, that would make a big noise, I think.
I absolutely agree, and it's happened before, and it's made a difference. Yeah. So Mike got busy this past week, though, and put together a supercut.
Yeah, before Bruce put out his little thing, I took some of the stuff he said at the first show and mixed it with one of his great songs, "Land of Hope and Dreams," is what we are all about, and this will give you a summary of what he had to say.
It's Mornings on the Beach for your Saturday, Sunday morning right here at KLBP Long Beach. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Melanie Ray.
And my neighbor heard that mix that I was playing it in my house, and she said her one comment was kind of negative. It was like, well, he says that when he's out of the country. And I thought, he knows what will happen. And it probably will happen, right? They're going to either stick the IRS on him or stick the FBI, something like that.
He did make a threat that he was going to do something,
right?
But whether he does or not.
And at the same time, Bruce knows he's sharing that, and I feel the same way for playing that. In fact, my bag is packed right here just to get this show.
No, it's for real.
It is for real, and that's the thing that's crazy.
I want other countries to know that we're not on board with this guy. So I like him being out of the country and saying, hey, this is what's going on in America and the crowd, because so that they know that we're upset too.
And they do. Other countries do know. Yeah.
And just know that I know how Bruce does his shows, and this Land of Hope and Dreams tour is going to be the theme throughout Europe. He's going to be repeating that at every stop.
Great.
And then hopefully he comes back to the U.S. for a U.S. tour, which will also be off the hook. It's off the
I
hook
can't
anyway
wait,
because
yeah.
it's Bruce, but it would be off the hook if he did that show here.
Mike is our local Springsteen fanatic.
Absolutely.
And I say that well-intentioned because I want you to let us know when he's coming. I can never pay attention to that stuff, so please let me know. I'd love to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
and see him. I saw him when I was freshman in high school. No, freshman
yeah.
in college. And what a show. It knocked me back. Then. That was just then. Now he's incredible.
Nothing like it.
Yeah, no, it's great. But if you're listening, and we were doing all kinds of negative stuff earlier in the segment, but we just got news. Well, before we recorded this show on Thursday, the judge has blocked Trump layoffs and his order to close the education department. So he got his hand slapped away from that today. On Thursday,
Okay.
we're recording. Calling for he said he blocked Trump's executive order calling for the closure of the Department of Education, as well as against the reduction in force that laid off half of the agency's workers. No good. They got to come back. So we'll see. However, they are aggressively, with this new bill that they just passed the House this week, aggressively trying to remove any protection for anybody who's downside on their student loan. They're going to remove all these protections. Why is this party so dedicated to destroying people's lives?
I know the energy, the money they put into it.
The money is one thing. First of all, they tout, this savings that's going to make, you know what? How about you start with don't take any golf trips.
Yeah.
And Elon maybe can take one less 19-minute flight from Miami to Palm Beach in his corporate jet. How about starting that way? And
Because
secondly,
they don't really care about any of that
no,
stuff.
it's like, I get it that you want to reduce taxes on the rich. Go for it. But don't do it at the result of making people, their lives are going to be in trouble. If you cut back on
No,
Medicaid.
they derive. It's evil. They derive joy from it. It's not just money.
I just wonder, does that really feel good?
It feels powerful.
I think that's it.
It feels
right?
powerful.
And then what are they left with after they leave office? They want somebody else to come in and continue this?
They're not going to leave office.
You know, maybe the thought is, and this week you probably saw the news about Donald Trump Jr. fielding questions about whether he's going to become the heir apparent. And of course, he laughed. So did by the way, the crowd, once they announced that, hey, you want to run for president? He says, it could happen. There was this sound.
Right.
One person.
And it was Eric.
So nobody's thinking about that. But then again, we weren't thinking about his dad.
I think they'll
either.
run Ivanka and claim like, oh, the first woman president, la la la, like it's progress, and then she'll be the queen.
Well, I pretty much trust her smarts against Donald's.
She's certainly smarter.
She knows what she's doing when it comes to business and when it comes to
It's
graft.
not hard to be smarter.
Yeah, well, in this administration, I love the characterizations on Saturday Night Live about our press agent, the press secretary for the White House.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
Cicely.
Are they doing RFK? That's got to be a good
Yes. There was one video I saw on the internet. It was at Elon Musk on one side of the picture, and it was somebody doing an impersonation in the hat and everything. And then you had RFK impersonator who kind of looked like RFK. And this is what it sounded like. RFK speaking, I come flying on the burger. And then Elon would say, and they were claiming this is what it sounds like whenever they talk.
Michael Myers did a good Elon.
I can't listen to Robert Kennedy.
No, I can't either.
You want to clear your throat.
Exactly. And why is no one talking about
Please.
that? I spend the whole time going,
Yeah. It just, you're like, dude, drink some water.
Something.
I don't know. It's just one of those
that
things.
worm's thirsty.
And that's what the parody that Cecily Strong did on Saturday Night Live, she says as the press agent, you know, that worm earned its way there.
Right.
Oh, God. But good news. Maybe if you're you're looking at flying across the country, you're thinking, I want to get a seat, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. Well, starting in 2026, low-cost airlines will officially launch standing-only seats. This is according to the Daily Mail UK. And what that looks like, remember those, I don't know if you remember the 1940s and movies where actresses would lean back against boards to protect their dresses between shots because they couldn't sit down in them. That's kind of what this looks like. I'm going to show Melanie a picture here in studio. Does that look like a ride from Disneyland?
Oh, for sure. So you can seat belt in a standing location? Are you dangling? Are you you're standing on your feet?
You're standing on your feet.
Oh, screw that.
You know, but what if I told you that it was only $5 to take a standing seat.
I don't know how much longer it's going to be safe to fly anyway. Do we have a FAA?
I think we do, but who knows? Who's it this
Who's
week?
running it? Exactly.
Who's it this week? Who knows? But yeah, I feel the same way. I'm glad I don't have any trips coming up.
Yeah.
I feel like
Thanks. I got a 14-hour flight to Spain coming up.
Oh no! Well, you'd be okay. You're
nice.
leaving the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a nonstop. So once we're in the air, we're probably in pretty good shape.
You coming back?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, hopefully we come back.
Now, would you take it standing if I said you could do it for $10?
No,
5 hours?
13 hours. That's too much.
13 hours. is too
13 to
much.
Spain. Yeah. That's too much.
So you got to lean on it like women do on floats, when they
Yes,
wave.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Now they're touting this as a wonderful way for people who can't afford to fly. But then again, it's about making money for the
Yeah, if you've
airlines.
ever, I've flown Spirit before, so I'm not going any cheaper.
Yeah.
All those budget airlines, after that one experience, all those budget airlines are off
all the
my
things.
list.
What did they charge you for that you weren't prepared for?
Oh, air. Everything. You buy the ticket, and then they're like, "Oh, and here's your seat."
Yes.
They charge you for the ticket separately from the seat.
No, you have to pay for the seat.
Yeah, you buy the ticket. You think, "Oh, they got a great price." Then they're like, "Okay, now pick your seat."
So when
And
you
those
were
are
all
different
done
prices.
with it, did you feel like you saved any money?
I don't remember because I got stranded in Washington D.C.
Oh, jeez.
because when their flights got canceled, nobody worked for them. We were all at the airport, and there were like 4 20-year-olds standing around staring at us while we were going, "When's the next flight?" Nobody knew. Forget it.
Yeah, well, I don't think you save any time when they add you, everything you get added on to your
Right.
fee. I don't think so, but who knows? But I'll tell you one thing: there's one person in your family that's going to love this news, and this started. I heard about it a year ago. It's called Bark Air, and it's for your pet. It's a private charter for your pet. And when they first started, it was $1,400 to take your pet. And guess what? The pet has a +1. You can come along.
Oh.
It's all dedicated to your pet. They go down the aisles with bone broth once they take off for the doggies. Isn't this awesome? And they've reduced their rates and expanded their service this year to all kinds of cities. Before it was just London and New York. Now it's all kinds of cities in the U.S. And it's only $700 to travel with the pooch.
Okay, now I'll stand up.
Which is, the pumpkin stand. You
Yeah,
can
if
sit.
he can stand next. If you can stand next to
I
me.
just think the more we get into the popular culture that you can fly with your pet, right? Because my dog would be so cool. He wouldn't.
Yeah,
The only
mine
thing
would
he'd do
be fine,
is
too.
lick himself to death. But other than that, and I think there's worse things going on in airplanes these days.
And it calms people to have their pets with them.
I totally
It calms me
agree.
for sure.
It calms me to have him right here in the studio.
Yeah.
PetAge.com is where we found this story about Bark Air, but a great idea, and I love it. I can't wait. I'd love to travel with you if I could, Boomer. I swear. But you can't, no standing up. You're going to have your own kennel. It's Mornings on the Beach for your Saturday, Sunday morning right here at KLBP Long Beach.
I went to Pride.
I did too. Did
And
you enjoy it?
I really did, and I really needed it because of all this horrible news. That I could just walk from my house, sit on a curb, and watch people celebrating love and equality. I just made that word up, and and just to be around all the happy people really elevated
agree.
me. I really enjoyed it, and it was smaller, which I also kind of enjoyed.
I liked it too. And there was less trash in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
We live right there, shoreline and ocean. And there was less trash. It was obvious that there was lower attendance.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think it was because they didn't get as much publicity. And here's the other thing too. If you're working in the city of Long Beach, could you please put the date of Pride on those banners you hang up?
Right? I thought the same thing.
I mean, come on.
I thought the same thing.
It's nice, but we're not just the Pride City. We just want to know when the festival is, and they didn't do that. And I think they're saving money, but you could add something on the end of that. I
Well, and
think.
it was interesting too, since there isn't DEI. There were fewer corporate sponsors, but it was interesting to see who was there.
Yes.
So Southern California Edison
Yep.
was there with their flags. And all
Arco,
that.
because nothing says Pride like big oil.
Right. Well, we're in the world. We can't. We got to pick a lesser of evils.
I
now.
agree. I'm just making fun because
Yeah.
it's easy. But I got to give them one thing. They made the world's biggest balloon arch over their truck. That came down the
Arco
street.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, do it big. And they did. They
Yeah.
did it really great. It was really awesome. We saw the mayor. He was waving off their bus.
Yep.
And then Cindy Allen, our councilwoman, was
And the
there.
group of protesters was smaller too.
I never saw them. Where were they?
They're always in the same spot. They're
Down by the
just
park.
before the museum.
Ah.
Yeah, down by the park.
Way there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were up at Felkin. But it was fun. We had a good time, Bimmer and myself. And I got to hand it to the guy who was pushing the cart with a full bar service.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. $10 a hit. And boy, he had a line.
Oh, he got picked up at the end, though.
Did
I
he
think.
really?
Yeah, because someone said, "Did you see that guy who was selling booze?"
Oh,
the cops
no,
picked him
why
up.
would you do that? It was awesome. I didn't do that.
I think because he was selling. I bet if
Yeah.
he was giving it away,
That's
they'd have let
true,
him
but
go.
the same thing. Come on. I mean, for
I know,
God's
turn the other way.
Come,
Turn the
you know,
other
people
way.
were loving it. He had
Right.
more business than the vendors with the all the flags and everything. But when he coupled with the hot dog and wrapped bacon,
I had one.
man,
I had one that day. It was magic.
I don't care how old you are. The two things together, a good drink and one of those hot dogs.
I had that.
Yeah, it was awesome. So that was pride. Anyway, time for us to get back into some music for this morning.
Let's have some Black Keys. How about it?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is
That'd be great.
brand new from them. No Rain, No Flowers.
It's Mornings on the Beach. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Melanie Ray.
And today, by the way, we want to remind you that we're on Blue Sky now. Mornings on the Beach, just search for that. Or Facebook, Instagram, same thing. Mornings on the Beach, you'll be able to find us and communicate with us. Follow us if you would. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. You've got something that you're bringing to the
I
table.
do. Flying cars may soon inch their way out of science fiction in time for the LA Olympics. So the Archer Aviation has electrical vehicles, little airplanes that can take off vertically
Okay.
to shuttle people back and forth for Olympic events in 2008.
Oh, wow. So Uber in the skies.
Uber in the skies.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, well, it says hubs will be at all little airports with helipads. So L.A., Long Beach, Van Nuys, Hollywood, Santa Monica, that kind of thing. And they said for $50 and up.
Not bad.
Yeah,
I'd consider it.
Be just for the experience of it.
The traffic, though, I guess they'd have to fly at the same elevations that helicopters fly, which is a specific elevation, especially around airports.
Yeah.
But any event that usually happens, like the Rose Bowl, there's helicopters everywhere. I'm
That's
just
true.
wondering if it's going to be busy up there. But
Yeah, we'll see.
what a great opportunity.
Yeah, so I mean, it'd be a trip to take one and to see him flying around and landing vertically. But I do wonder, when I was reading this, thinking Olympics of 2028 is right in the throes of whatever authoritarian regime we're going to be in. Then I wonder who's going to boycott.
Yeah, really? Oh, other countries.
Yeah,
Who
I mean,
knows?
if you care about things like Gaza and democracy and Ukraine.
Oh, those things.
Those things, you may not be real into America now.
Yeah.
It might be us and Russia and wherever we pay to send our detainees, El Salvador, whatever.
I think they probably should end the Diddy trial by sending him away too.
Oh, he can do that reality show. Why don't we do the reality show with Diddy instead of immigrants?
Are you following any of this stuff?
A little bit,
I mean,
little bit.
me too. I got tired of it because there was special after special that came out. It wasn't even over yet.
Yeah, I just read little updates.
Yeah.
And it ain't looking good.
I've never been a Diddy fan, even when he was, making music
Yeah, and
personally.
really never been a Justin Bieber fan. That's supposedly his little mentor. But this whole thing about his abuse allegations, first of all, he's kind of like losing, especially when all the people come out of the woodwork to talk about how he acted. And
Yeah.
But they found something that was interesting. You may have noticed if you've seen pictures of him in jail, is that his hair's turning gray again.
Yep.
And that's because, it was revealed in a raid on his house that he had like a whole stock of Just for Men.
Oh my!
Yeah, and of course, you know how the internet is. Once the camera swings in a certain direction, everybody stops it and looks at what's on the shelves, and they found it.
Right.
Yeah, they found it. So it's his hair color. Apparently, all that black was nothing more than hair dye. But that was the Daily Mail, of course. I love the Daily Mail because they just find out these stories, and nobody else will publish them, but they publish them, and we repeat them. So, and like this one. You want the secret to healthy aging, right? You want to know how to live your longest. And is it blue zones? Maybe. Is it food like a vegetarian Mediterranean diet? Maybe.
That helps.
But they're saying one thing that you're avoiding putting any emphasis on is something you should not. You should have a wonderful backside burp once in a while. My friend calls them that.
Didn't you tell a story about a walking fart as well? You're into this.
Yes, this is fart walking.
I'm a fart walker.
So they're saying
that's Luke Skywalker's brother. Danny Fart Walker.
if you go, if you have a meal and you get up and go for a walk, one thing happens right away. Usually within 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to have a little burp, right? Your stomach's going to start to digest your food, and that's a good way to be.
Yeah.
But they're saying if you feel the urge to let one loose, you should do that because it's really good for your digestion.
Who has a choice?
Yeah, really. Well, maybe. But people who are trying to be polite, I don't care.
Oh, I'm over that.
I'll let it go.
You do. You let it go when you go walking.
And I had to get used to this as an older person. This medication I'm on, the doctor says, oh, it's going to make you flatulent. But he said it kind of threw it away. It wasn't a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal. Because there have been the most inappropriate moments when I've stopped and all of a sudden, and it's not something you can control very easily. I mean, other than
is that why you always walk with your dog?
Or you
got the built-in blame.
Yeah, because it's very strange. I remember one time leading a group of students. I said, I have something very important for you all to hear, and then, and they've never let me forget that.
Did you play it off? I had to just play it off.
Well, you have to. You have to laugh at it. But when it happens in places where you're not expecting it, like walking down a corridor with somebody, giving a tour, and all of a sudden, and they ignore it. To me, that's no. You got to say something. You got to at least lift an eyebrow. Don't pretend it didn't happen. But take a park walk when you get a chance, and it'll help you literally grow old gracefully, if not be made fun of by the neighbors as you walk by. But they should be farting too. Remind them.
They should be farting too. You're just jealous.
I do. I am a little bit. But this next story I brought to the table because it's first it grabbed my interest when it said the headline was everything known about the euthanasia coaster that kills everyone that rides it. So what is this?
Yeah.
Well, in 2010, a Lithuanian, that's easy for me to say, hang on a second, Lithuanian artist, whose name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce, unveiled his now infamous euthanasia coaster, designed to give you the final thrill of a lifetime before taking your life. Yes, apparently it swings you around in a series of loops so fast that you go under 10 G forces, which are more than enough to kill you, to smash you internally, all your organs. So he designed this thing and built a model of it. And you can see a picture of it right here, all the loops included.
Oh, my.
Isn't that something?
Whoa.
And now, it's never been built. This is just an example, a model. And it's 1,600 feet up. And it goes at speeds of up to 223 miles an hour. Right? And it says that during the ride, you'll experience, first of all, becoming unconscious, and then it will smash you and you'll never complete the ride. So no one's ever done it because it's not been built yet. But why would you even want to? I mean, would that be a way you want to go out? You sit, and by the way, there's a button at the very top. There's a button that says abort. So you can stop and go back down.
When you're only half smashed.
When you're up at the top, ready to go down this 223 feet. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I mean, I support assisted suicide anyway. I think you should have the right to end your own life, and if that's your game. But also, I wonder when, I'm also against the death penalty. I'm such a, progressive. But when they do put someone to death, I always thought it was ridiculous how much work and money and science they put into it. First we do this, and then we do this, when it's actually not that hard to kill somebody. So maybe they should do this.
That would actually be a fun way to go.
Yeah, if you were like, okay, what do you want?
You
want the chamber, you want the chamber, you want the chair, you want the roller coaster. Well, the roller coaster, thank you.
Yeah. And they have a picture of somebody simulating there. See, first they go unconscious, and then there's only one way to survive it, and that's to back up before you go down.
That is dark.
That is a real e-ticket ride there.
Yeah,
oh
really.
My gosh.
It is kind of dark, but it's life. And I agree with you on being able to end your own life.
Yeah.
I've had an ex of mine who did that. He chose. Pain was just too much. However, the part I didn't realize was the effect I'd have on me when he called me the night before and says, by this time tomorrow, I'll be dead.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Whoa. Yeah. And it didn't hit me until the next morning when I realized he was gone.
Yeah,
right?
It's heavy. There was an episode of This American Life about that, where a mom prepared her son, like, this is when I know it's right, I'm going to go through this process, and I and orchestrated it so that he wasn't involved and this and that, and it's a heavy thing.
It is a heavy thing, but I agree with you. It should be the person's right.
Absolutely.
If that's the way they want to end their life. And I look against everything people who are religious believe, but we don't know. You know, we really don't. I remember my dad, when my mom was telling him, go to Jesus, he would say, how do you know?
There you go.
To the very end, my dad was joking.
Yeah.
How would I know? But that's one thing. And speaking of that, I think the song title was appropriate for the roller coaster here.
Well, this song actually is another shot at the Trump administration, believe it or not.
I believe
and
it.
Specifically, it's a shot at Elon Musk from the guy we talked about earlier, Neil Young. This is called "Let's Roll Again." That's Neil Young and the Chrome Hearts, and a song called "Let's Roll Again."
Oh, I love it. And I love the fact that these songs are coming out.
Yeah.
Right? The first start, the musicians and the artists.
The artists, yeah.
Yeah, and then what's next? Then marching in the streets. And that's already happening. But and I want to find a place. Is there an aggregate or an app for finding out where the next protest
People are
is?
using 5051, which is 50501, and they're using that to organize.
On your text?
Yeah, if you go to the website or follow them, and then they're using those to organize grassroots locations and protests. So the protest I went to at a Tesla thing was organized through that.
It's Memorial Day weekend, a time to remember those people that gave their life in service. And I don't think that most people, people that actually not celebrate, but remember, do they go to the cemetery?
I don't know anyone.
No. I have military in my family, but this is not the weekend that we choose to go to Riverside to honor them.
Yeah.
Because first of all, there's a lot of people there at the same time. But Memorial Day is about that. And also just about the beginning of summer, the unofficial beginning of summer. Do we have anything coming up for LA radio sessions this week?
Well, we're in a 2-week pattern these days. So the Bill Ward show that aired last week is airing again this week.
Excellent.
And I wanted to make a clarification. We got a lot of press for Bill Ward.
We sure did.
Being part of our family now, but I want to make sure everybody understands that he's not going to be on every week. I'm not giving up my whole show to Bill.
Come on.
He's going to be on once a month, probably. Once the Sabbath tour is over or the reunion is over,
Right.
Then we'll get together and maybe do 1 or 2 a month. But I still have other things I want to do on
Of
the
course.
air. So this week it's Bill Ward one more time.
I love it because like I said, we got the publicity this past week. It'd be nice if people tuned in and heard that. So that's wonderful. Anything else going on this weekend that we should make sure? I'm sure there's 1,000 things that are going on.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Indy 500. So on Sunday,
That's
I'll
right.
be on my couch enjoying that. And I have to, if you like racing, I know people either love it or hate it or whatever. The coverage of it this year is just incredibly good. Lots of great technology in presenting the race, making it a lot more interesting than just cars going around at high rates of speed at 4 corners. So
I can't wait. I'll have to check it out because that's something. The accessibility of it was always. If you didn't know about the sport or what are they doing, you can find out. That's great. This weekend, that's happening. And also, if you're going to check out things around Long Beach, check out the Dog Beach. Come down to Rosie's because you can't but smile when you go down there.
Absolutely. That's where Dog Beach.
It's a
Even if
happy
I don't
place.
bring my dog, I go because it's
it's
just,
happy.
There's no place better than dogs running around in the waves.
Absolutely.
Come on.
And Boomer is act the fool every time I bring the ball out there. And I love it. I just love it. And when you have kids, you just want to get away from them. So we go to Monty's and hang out and let Boomer run around with his pals. And if he comes back, he comes back.
He comes back.
I know he does. That was my mother's philosophy. Well, if the dog dies, the dog dies.
Well, when you got 10 kids, you got to make a cut somewhere.
Exactly.
Right.
I understand it now, but back then, oh no, that felt like
Right.
abuse. All right, well, I'll tell you what, we're done abusing you for the morning. Right here at Mornings on the Beach. We hope that you will stay for the rest of the day for our wonderful programming. And welcome to our new public affairs director, Morgan Barella, is joining us. A former intern here just last semester, and she's decided to come on board and help us out. So Morgan at
Excellent.
KLVP, if you want to reach her. And we put some announcements on the air about how you can get your public service announcement for free. If you have an event coming up, you're a nonprofit in the area, you can reach out to publicaffairs@klbp.org. Oh, all right. Mornings on the Beach. I'm going to say goodbye. My name's Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
And we'll see you next weekend.
Bye.
Let's go out with Garbage and a song that sums up the entire show. There's no future in optimism.
Yeah.